Good morning, everybody. This is Brittany at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. And I've been getting a lot of people asking, how is Frankie? So here's Frankie Bobcat. Good morning, Karen. Hey, Sharon. Hello, Ethel. Hey, Deb. Look at that twitchy bobcat tail. Suzanne. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Nick. This is Frankie Bobcat. Good morning, Cynthia. Oh, is he actually going to leave Walkabout? Oh, my goodness. Hi, Kristen. Good morning, Sarah. Hi, Sandy. This is Frankie Bobcat. I don't think his tail ever stops wagging either. He's become one of our grass-eating club members. Hello, Linda. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tommy. Hi, Margie. Just watching Frankie eat some vegetables for breakfast. Hello, Laurel. I just love that certain type of grass. All the cats do. Hello, Donna. So this morning's a little different for everybody, and everyone's going to be eager to see me because we are fasting the cats today. Never anyone's favorite day around here. Good morning, Pauline. They're being fasted because tomorrow is their quarterly flea treatment, and it's in pill form and it goes in their food, and these cats are incredibly smart. So they have to be nice and hungry for us to make sure that they take the medicine. I followed along 3 months ago when we did it the last time. And I'm sure some of you remember how many different times we had to try to feed the cats. What are you doing up there? Frankie has this awesome den. He started finally hanging out up top. Good morning, Cheryl. Yeah, we're gonna have some hangry kitties. The bigger they are, the more hangry they're gonna be. Good morning, Craig. So I started with Frankie. I know I have been kind of trying to keep track in my head, and then I made a little bit of a list of everybody that people were saying I haven't seen them in a while. So we're gonna start in the very front corner with Frankie. If you've ever been here and are familiar with our layout, you'll know that right on the other side of that white fence is actually our parking lot and our main entrance. And then our gift shop is on the other side of that fence. And when you come on a tour here, you actually come out of this little pathway right next to Frankie. Yeah, so looks like he's gonna be spending his morning wandering around, wondering why breakfast didn't show up. He looks really good though, doesn't he? He's really settled in very, very fast and very nicely. He's like, oh, maybe if I stand in this other lockout, they'll bring the food. I think this might be his first flea treatment. He hasn't been here for the 3 months, so they are fasting today for flea treatment tomorrow. So let's hop on the golf cart here. My other requests that I've seen this week were for Purr-fection and Simba. I saw Osiris. Oh, thank you, Alan, for your donation. Good morning, everybody. One last look at Frankie. He's doing really well. Good morning, Linda. Of course, we'll stop and say hello to cats we see along the way. Bonnie is asking how Andi is doing. He's doing well. I believe he ate somewhere between 5 and 7 pounds yesterday, all throughout the day. Hey, Linda. We're gonna stop at Mr. Apollo. This is Apollo. He is a Siberian lynx. Well, thank you, Kaylee, for your donation. So Apollo here was from one of our very first rescues in the 90s, earlier 90s, from a fur farm. He was born in 1997, so he's an old guy. He recently did go into the hospital for an exam, and we were able to get some of his matting down. When they get old like that, they can't always groom themselves. Hi, Nicole. We're hanging out with Apollo for a minute. He walks a little stiff, but he's an old guy. Still got a lot of catitude, though. Huh. Good morning, Liz. So if you guys are just joining, the cats are going to be extra eager to see us today because unfortunately for them, we are fasting them today. Our meds cats and any of the really old or really picky cats will still get a little bit of a diet today, but everybody else needs to be nice and hungry for their quarterly flea treatment tomorrow. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. I just saw a question of how long do the cats live in the wild. Typically we give most of them, they have about an average of 10 to 12 years in the wild. We have, I think, just under 20 cats now at this point that are over the age of 20 here. Good morning, Chris. But that's because they have keepers that keep their eyes on them every single day, multiple times a day, for any ailments that might arise. We do dental procedures. If a cat breaks a tooth or gets an infection or hurts a limb in the wild, nature just kind of takes its course. Hi, Christine. Morning, everybody. Just stopped to say a quick hello to Apollo. We did start out by seeing Frankie, so once this live feed is over, you should definitely start it from the beginning. They always post automatically on our Facebook page as well as our Wildcat Walkabout show channel. If you guys haven't liked that channel yet, you definitely should. Carol posts a lot of really cool stuff on there. And then all of my live videos end up on there as well. Melanie, we feed once a day typically. Today's the exception since we're fasting for flea medication tomorrow. And the amount of food, it generally depends on the cat itself. Smaller cats can eat up to 1 pound or more, all the way up to the tigers that are going to be more between 10 and 12 pounds. Some of the smaller tigers may be about 8 pounds. So let's check in with Simba. Hi, Bud Bud. He is doing really well. He has thinned out a lot. This is Simba. Hi, Bud. I have a feeling you got a little bit of a snack this morning. What you doing? Simba. Oh, just what I was expecting you to do. Turning your back on me. Turning your back on me. He's part of the grass eating club as well. They're really good at convincing you guys that we just don't feed them and they have to eat grass. You're so silly. So exciting news. Yesterday, Jamie was able to get up sponsor kits, downloadable sponsor kits for all of our hybrid cats. So you guys can now sponsor Simba or King Tut, Diablo, Loki. Are you just gonna keep eating that? Silly. Yes, it is the silent treatment. So he's really gotten adjusted pretty well. I see him all over the enclosure. He's always stalking something. And Beecher, you're right, Linda. How could I forget Beecher? My goodness. I can hear him everywhere. I hear him in my sleep. No, Chris, we don't use grocery store suppliers. No, we actually go through a different it is USDA grade, but it's not for human consumption, so it doesn't come from the grocery stores. Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us, we said hello to Frankie. And then we said hello to Apollo. We came over to see Simba, but he's too busy eating grass right now. Where are you going? You can see he's become a lot more adventurous. Sweet boy. Very expressive. Did he get a little bit of a diet this morning? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because when I came up, he was licking his lips. See, you got some. We totally agree. It's not natural for these cats to be locked in cages. And if you want to help us put an end to cats in cages, definitely go to bigcatact.com and make the call to the wild for us. Yes, a lot of the cats react to catnip, just like your cats at home. And yeah, I'm seeing questions about our cages. Definitely check out bigcatrescue.org/cages. All right, Sim. So let's go over. So they cleaned up this enclosure right next door to Simba and right next to Mrs. Claus. This is where Nabisco's gonna go when he comes out of the hospital. Thank you guys for posting links. When we have newcomers come in, they've got a lot of questions, and some of us can be a little bit testy because we're so passionate about what we do here. So we just have to help teach them what our mission is, and a lot of times they realize we're the good guys. Let's see, there's Miss Perfection. I've been getting questions about her. Perfection is an ocelot. Hi, lady. Hi. Hi. You waiting on food? I'm so sorry. Yes, Joseph, this is Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. We're home to just under 70 cats on 67 acres. Most of these cats have been rescued or confiscated from private owners, circuses, different kinds of performances, breeding facilities, you name it. Got a lot of sad stories in this sanctuary, but lucky for them, they end up here, which is kind of like hitting the lottery. They stay here for the rest of their lives. But she's just like, nope, you didn't bring the food. This is what we're gonna get a lot of today. They're gonna be real eager to see me until they realize that I don't have anything. Oh, look how pretty you look over there. That's a pretty photo. That's a pretty photo. This is Perfection Ocelot. You can learn every single story about the cats here as well if you go to bigcatrescue.org/catbio. Good morning, Sonia. I saw you on here yesterday. Welcome back. Oh, she's so beautiful. You're such a pretty lady. One night we were handing out enrichment, and even though she's getting up there in age, we all looked up and she was in the top of that tree up there. Apparently she climbs the side of the enclosure and then hops over to the tree instead of climbing the actual tree. Silly lady. So here she goes. So happy to see all of you guys on here this morning. Everybody helping post links and answer questions for me. Let's go see King Tut. He is also a Savannah, if I know him pretty well. Yeah, he's on his Coolaroo. If I miss any of your questions or nobody that's on here from our group or our moderators answer, I always try to go back after the feed is over. How relaxed this buddy is. You just soaking up all the sun. All the sun. No, we do not have any cheetahs here. I'm just soaking up the sun. This is King Tut. Yeah, Chris, we are always looking for volunteers and interns. The volunteers and interns do all of our animal care here. And you can definitely get all the information you need at bigcatrescue.org/get-involved, or -involved, I believe. Somebody will probably post that. I started out here as a volunteer and was a volunteer for 3 years. Absolutely, Joseph. We are open to the public every day but Thursdays. You can find all of our tour information at bigcatrescue.org/tickets. We do a variety of guided tours, private tours, feeding tours, keeper tours. We do not do any, I'll just kind of, I think we've got quite a few new people on here. So we are accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries, and they hold you to a very high standard that we consider to be very important for a true sanctuary. We don't do any buying, selling, trading, breeding, or touching of any of our cats. That was pretty cute. Living the life, sir. Living the life. So right after I said we don't do any touching of the cats, I've seen several people say I would touch them, or do you touch them, or can we pet them? No, we do not. Hi, Donna. We are a non-contact facility. He's like, do you mind? I'm sleeping. Soaking up the sun. That is one relaxed little boy there. All right, let's go see if we can check in on Breezy Bobcat. Yeah, and the reason that we don't touch any of the animals here is we find that it would be rude. These are wild animals, and just because they're trapped in cages because of humans doesn't give us the right to impose our needs on them. If they were to accidentally hurt us, which if you've seen their teeth or their claws or some of their catitudes, you'd realize very quickly it wouldn't take much for them to accidentally hurt you. And then the CDC can require that you cut off their head to test them for rabies. That does not seem worth it in the slightest. There she is. So just because we would want to do something like that doesn't mean it's right. Here's Breezy. Hi, baby girl. Hi. This is Breezy Bobcat. Hi, sweet girl. She's like, oh, I don't smell food. I'm out of here. Breezy is just one of the cutest. I saw somebody ask, has anybody made the mistake of touching? Not that I'm aware of, because you know pretty well that if that's something that you were to do, you are escorted off property and never welcome back. And for the keepers that are here, that's definitely something that's not worth it either. I would be devastated to not be allowed to be here. We learned a lot of lessons early on. We started in '92. And there were interactions, and there was breeding, and there were a lot of things that we now know don't serve any conservation effort and are very dangerous. So we've had a lot of rules change over the years. And we have keepers that have been out here for 18 years, and they've all adjusted, and we're all on the same page that this is the right mission for all of us. Hi, baby girl. Come see me one more time. Hi. Yeah, are you purring? That's really funny. Yeah, I do consider our kitten cabana one of the most dangerous places on property. It's a kitten daycare, essentially. The interns that live here on property, they help foster kittens from the Tampa Bay Humane Society. And while the interns are here working all day, the kittens go into, and you can see the structure right behind Breezy's enclosure with that ceiling fan. That is where the kittens spend all day, and the volunteers go in and help socialize them and play with them. You can also watch them 24/7 on the Explorer camera. We've got lots of cameras on property you can watch 24/7. And you can go to bigcatrescue.org/cams and look for Kitten Cabana, and that's where you'll see that. All right, I'm taking the hint, baby girl. I see Andi bobcat, so this is a special treat. She's very shy and elusive. Oh yes, I think I see somebody handicap accessible. Our gift shop is designed with a ramp to get inside of that, and then also back out into the tour area. And we do provide golf carts that can be rented. This is Andi. She's another one of our much older bobcats. Hi, Andi. So actually several months back I was training Bridget, one of our yellow shirts, on feeding, and we noticed that Andi here was just a little bit off that morning. She went to try to jump into her platform box and was real stumbly, and we recorded it and called the coordinator, and next thing we knew we were sedating her and taking her in the hospital, and we're pretty sure she had had a stroke. So that's one of those stories that I'll never forget, because we're trained in animal observation and we know these cats and we know what's not normal. So we were able to get her in time, and it's been a few months now and she's doing really well. And this is Andi, A-N-D-I. Thank you, Jamie, for your donation. Where'd you go? Right into your jungle. That's something I really love about the bobcat enclosures. Oh, I see you creeping. I see you. She's like, you weren't supposed to see me. You weren't supposed to see me. So we did actually create a way for her to still love her box, but we lowered it and put it on the ground so it would be safe for her. So that's her favorite spot usually all day long. Sonia, so Andi did eat about 5 to 7 pounds yesterday. Good morning, Pam. I'm just saying hello to Andi bobcat. All right, little lady, you go back to your jungle. So I know that they sent out a fecal sample, and I believe we got the results back, but I'm not a veterinarian, so I don't understand all that speak. So we'll have to wait and see what was determined, but I know that he did eat some yesterday. He's just not eating early in the morning like his normal feedings were, but they did get wormed a week or so ago, so there's that chance that he just has an upset tummy. Well, there goes Sue. Sue and Lakota aren't usually super friendly. They like to run from me. Here's Tiger Lilly. Hi, Lilly girl. She's one of our oldest cats on property. Hi. Hi, sweetness. She's out wondering where breakfast is. Did I bring it? Is it behind you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So this is Tiger Lily Bobcat here at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Are you peeing on that? See, that's mine. I'm seeing questions about Andre and Amanda because of the passing of Arthur. Honestly, they've been doing okay. Andre and Arthur were both actually kind of changing their behaviors and you know, walking a little bit stiff and slow, and then Arthur kind of jumped ahead of Andre in sort of a rapid decline. But Andre is still eating and taking his meds. Yeah, I agree. Tiger Lily is one of the best statues on property. The patience in this girl is pretty unreal. Are you being a good girl? She's doing it down, thinking that I'm gonna be able to give her operant treats. You're such a good girl. Yeah, she has some of the prettiest eyes and the cutest she's a little heart-shaped nose. Kathy, we have lots of people that donate things for our enrichment committee, but you can't really just bring it or show up with it. I mean, you might be able to, but it has to be checked out by the committee before it's ever given out to the animals. If you do the keeper tour, you can actually help make enrichment, and then on your tour, you watch the keepers hand those out. You're so silly. I'm sorry I have to disappoint you like this. I want everyone to see how pretty you are. Yeah. She was actually from some of the original fur farm rescues as well. Came here in 1995 at about 2 months old. She was destined to become someone's fur coat. And lucky for her, Carol got a hold of her, brought her here, and she's lived here ever since. Pam, I already asked if I could sneak Tiger Lily a treat. Unfortunately, Tiger Lily is one of the smartest cats as well, and she does not take medications very well, so we have to make sure she's pretty hungry. She'll probably take the meds out of anger tomorrow. Right? Is that true? Yeah, Viola, the water here is tested regularly. That's a great question, because that water is pumped into all of the tiger ponds as well. We have solar power that runs the pumps, and so the lake is constantly circulating through the tiger pools as well. Yeah, I'm seeing people posting the Go Free link. That's always a huge thing with our live feeds, is that cat shouldn't be in a cage, or why are they in cages? Humans should leave them alone. Well, we completely agree with you. I would love nothing more than to not see these cats in cages. We're one of the only places I've ever known to exist that wants to put ourselves out of business. We don't want to have to rescue these cats that are in terrible places, so you can help us end that by never paying to play or touch with cubs or any exotic animal for that matter. Don't support breeding facilities. If a cat is born in a cage, it can never be set free, despite what anyone wants to tell you. Look at that twitchy tail. If they were born in a cage, you just can't release them. That's just how it is. The only cats that you can rehabilitate are ones that were born in the wild and have had very, very little human contact. But most of these cats were raised by humans, and it's just not possible. Once humans have imprinted, that's how that goes. It's not good. Melanie, I have been out here for about 3 years. My husband and I actually moved from Ohio down here to volunteer with the cats, and I've been a volunteer for 3 years, and then this past May is when I started as a staff member. But all the animal care here is done by volunteers and interns, so if you see anybody out actually working with the cats, that's volunteer time, even if it's a staff member. My staff hours are put in behind a computer. Yes. You being rotten? Yeah, we don't want animals in the circus either. That's very true. You can help support us by going to bigcatact.com and making the call of the wild. And thank you, Deb. You can definitely get involved as a volunteer or intern. Yeah, Melanie, I've put in thousands of hours here, but I have to say that Big Cat has taught me a good majority. I've always loved animals. I grew up wanting to be a veterinarian. I've worked with animals for actually about a decade, but in the domestic world. I've never actually gotten to just see her relax and groom, so this is kind of nice. When they're this old, you always want to soak up every moment you can with them. Yeah. Of course, she's one of the oldest cats on property, but she's also one of the most feisty. Look at her. You're gonna get me, aren't you? All right, baby girl. Thank you. That was really fun. That was really fun. Let's go see your neighbors. So directly next door, yeah, the roar, I believe, was Gabrielle Tiger. So this is Lovey. Hi, Lovey. Can we say hi to you? Hi. This is Lovey Bobcat. And she actually shares this enclosure with Thurston. I see Thurston's up at the front. He's not given up on the idea of having breakfast yet. Oh, cutie pie. Cutie pie. It's funny, her name's Lovey, but it's a little deceptive because she was one of the very first cats to ever scare me to death. She's got a little roar on her. Huh. She's got that little rattlesnake tail just like Amanda has. Cutie pie. We'll definitely walk up and see if we can see Thurston as well. It's just a morning for everybody to groom, I guess. Hi, sweetie. I'm still here. Oh, I'm flopping. Such a good girl. What's your man doing up there? Good morning, Gloria. If you guys are just joining, this is Lovey Bobcat at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. Oh, where are you going? You gonna go find your man? Let's go find your man and go see him. These guys were rescued with a handful of other cats that we refer to as the Gilligan's Island Rescue. They came in with Skipper and Gilligan, the Canada lynxes. Also came in with Ginger, Serval, and Marianne Bobcat. Got everybody but a professor. Here's Thurston. Where are you going? Hi. See if he's coming my direction or away from me. I don't know. I love their enclosure. It's so pretty. Nope, I think he's hanging out by lockout. Hey, bud. Hi. Hi, handsome. What you doing? Morning, Barbara. Saying hello to Thurston Bobcat. Cutie pie. Tampa, Florida is located, it's considered central, but it's central west. We're right along the Gulf of Mexico, so the west coast area is only about 30 minutes from Tampa. Hi. We have lots of safety measures in place as far as hurricanes are concerned. We had Irma that was a Cat 5 until it hit land, that was supposedly coming directly for our area last year. And we fared really well, so we know that our plans in place make a lot of sense. And well, bye, Dana. Have a great day. So cute. Yeah, Thurston is a bit bigger. That's something I've definitely noticed as far as the bobcats go. The males tend to be quite a bit bigger than the females for the most part. Yeah, we're only about an hour and 20 away from Orlando, and then no more than 30 minutes to like the Gulf Coast beaches. Well, let's go see who else is in this area. I don't know if we'll see Sue and Lakota. Still doesn't look like it. Kind of tried to hit up this whole middle area for you guys. Yeah, Ariel's up on top of that platform. I had really good success with her a couple nights ago doing operant conditioning, which was awesome. I actually managed to get her to come down off that platform and come right up to me, so that was a first. Oh, we've got Nala. I don't get to see Nala all that often. Hi, baby girl. Yeah, hello. This is Nala. She's an African serval. That hiss is your traditional serval. Hello. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. And I've been snubbed. It's okay. I love servals are one of the only cats that have the stripe and spot patterns on their coats. Very beautiful. She's got one of the bigger serval tails. Yeah. You're getting a bug. I call it her raccoon tail. Sweet Nala. Oh, get it. Get it. She's super playful too. I always see her chasing her own tail. It's really silly. It's just a grooming kind of a morning, I guess. Hi. You look very pretty in the sun there. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Hi. Oh, thank you, Rhonda, for your donation. Trying to see who else I see. I've got Pharaoh here. Pharaoh, I'm sorry, buddy. It's fasting day. It's fasting day. I know. I'm sorry. So Pharaoh is also a serval, but obviously there's a pretty big difference between him and what you just saw with Nala. So Pharaoh and his brother Tonga are two of the only known to man white servals. And they both live here. White servals are made in the same way that a white tiger would be made, and that is only through inbreeding. So his parents were a lot more closely related, and his dad is actually a white-footed serval, so he obviously already had kind of a trait for that. And they were born here before we realized that breeding served no purpose for conservation. They can never be set free. It's also like a health defect or a birth defect, so they get a lot of birth defects. Yeah, you pee on that tree instead of me, sir. He is the only one that constantly tries to mark me. He gets very playful in the morning though sometimes. It's really cute. He's one of our most playful cats as far as enrichment goes. Absolutely loves playing with paper enrichment, spice bags, perfume tubes. Where are you going? You can see how their cages are designed by watching him walk away. So it's a series of bubbles all connected by doorways and little tunnels. Good morning, Shannon. Hello, Joe. And there he goes. You can see he'll walk as far as the eye can see. So the cages are a lot bigger than what you will typically realize that they are from these videos. You can see Zukari up on his platform over there. walk around so you can see Tonga as well, because he's also out hanging out in his lockout. So the lockouts are where they get breakfast in the morning. Good morning, Margaret, in case you're brand new to us. They are these happy places, these little boxes that are set off of their entire bigger enclosure. Hi, bud. I didn't bring the food. I know, I'm sorry. He stood up because he was ready for food. And you'll notice the big difference between Tonga and Pharaoh is that Tonga is missing his nose. He did develop cancer on his nose, and we were able to remove it. He can still do everything that he used to do. And he is cancer-free for over 5 years now. Yeah. So I saw somebody ask me how many hours a week I do. So to maintain my level of volunteer, I have to do a minimum of 32 hours a month. And then that's alongside, so that's about 8 hours a week of just volunteer time. And then I work between 40 and 50 hours a week for staff hours. These guys were born in 96 and 97, I believe. Yeah. You can get comfy. So they are much older. You can see that the older they get, sometimes they struggle with grooming. Some of the cats will allow keepers that they trust to use retractable scratchers in order to kind of comb out any mats that they might develop. If it's really, really severe, the way like Apollo had gotten last resort, if we think the mats or anything might be hurting them, then we'll actually do a medical procedure, give them a full workup, and groom them as well. Good morning to Kentucky. Hi. Yeah, right now we've got kind of a big difference. We've got a couple cats that are under the age of 5, and then we've got just under 20 cats that are over the age of 20. All right, buddy. So I was hoping maybe Kewlona and Dryden would get curious about what I'm doing. If you see really closely, you see a little bobcat sitting there. I do not know if they'll let me get close. They are 2 of our most shy cats. This is Dryden. Dryden, where are you going? Hi, where's Kewlona? Oh, actually you see Kewlona in the lockout behind him. So Tonga and Pharaoh, who you saw, were the white cats. Those are white servals. They have basically a genetic defect called leucism that creates that white coat. I don't know if she'll let me get close to her. I don't want to freak her out, but she's also not getting breakfast today, so see if we can get a rare shot of Kewlona this morning. Hoover's doing well. That's Kewlona over there. Kewlona has finally, they've been here for a couple years now and have been the most elusive and shy cats on property. And for the first year, we would literally have to put her food on a little plate and push it into the den and then walk away and hope she would eat it. And she has finally started coming out, and she waits in lockout for us now to feed her. But she's still very shy, so we don't like to press our luck with her. Dryden is a little more outgoing, but he's also still just as leery of people, which is fine. We don't force it on them, and that's also why these guys are not directly on the tour path. We have some cages on the interior areas where big crowds of people can't technically see. Actually, you can see Dryden clawing in the background. Clawing his tree stump. You're such a good girl. Good job. Thanks for letting us say hi, Kewlona. Don't like to press my luck. So I thought maybe we'd go over and see if we can see Skipper or Gilligan, and then I'll probably wrap this up for today. Today's a little different. Normally we would be feeding the cats. We feed first thing in the morning every day. But today we are fasting the cats because tomorrow they get their quarterly flea medication and it goes in their food, so we need them to be nice and hungry. Very important. We're in Florida, lots and lots of bugs. So we want to make sure they stay healthy. So we do regular wormings and regular flea treatments. But don't worry, we make it up to them after the fact because once they've taken their meds, they usually get lots of snacks. There's Pharaoh again. You can see him out wandering around. I don't know if we'll be getting to any of the big cats today. I try to space it out. If we saw one of the cats yesterday, we probably won't see them today. I try to mix it up as much as possible so you guys actually get a really good variety of cats. They're also all clear on the other side of the property. So I was gonna hit up kind of the small cats today. We gotta give them their limelight too. Everyone's always wanting to see the big guys. Can't forget about the little guys. Skipper's up there on his platform. Here's Gilligan. Hi. So Skipper and Gilligan are Canadian lynxes. Would I be able to see you better over here? Probably. You gonna let me? Hi. Hi. Yeah. Alright, just like that. This is Gilligan. It's one of my favorites. A lot of people want to know how can a cat that's native to Canada survive in Tampa, Florida. And lucky for them, these enclosures used to belong to snow leopards. So these rock wall formations that you see back here are actually air-conditioned dens that are open to them all the time. So they can make that decision whether they need the AC or not. So this is Gilligan. Cats are solitary by nature, so they don't like to share space or food or have to compete for anything. So Skipper and Gilligan are neighbors, but they don't live together. So you don't want to share your space. Yeah. Good morning, Kim. What you doing? Oh, all right, ran out. Ran out of tolerance for me. Let's go see Skip. Let's go see Skip. So we've covered a lot of information today if you guys are just joining us. We're always looking for volunteers and interns, and that link has been posted several times, bigcatrescue.org/get-involved. This is Skipper here. Hey, handsome. Skipper's also one of the best statue cats on property. He'll barely even move his eyes. Yeah. We did start out with Frankie, and then we said hi to Apollo. We saw Simba. We saw Purr-fection, Breezy and Andi, Tiger, Lilly, Thurston and Lovey. We even saw Kewlona and Dryden today. We saw Nala, Pharaoh and Tonga. Now we're seeing Skipper. Handsome man. Oh, I'm sorry. And these guys are being fasted today so they can get flea medication and then big diets tomorrow. Thank you to everybody who donated and everybody who shared this live. That's always a free way that you can help us. You get cozy. Anytime you share these videos, it helps us reach audiences we wouldn't normally reach with our message, which is wonderful. It's a great free way for you to promote the cats. So thank you guys so very much. I I will be sharing my little story about Smalls on my public Facebook page today. She's such a cutie pie. So thank you guys so very much. And I will be seeing you guys again very, very soon. Take care. Have a great day.